Hello! I'd like to meditate with you today. Today's meditation will be on talking, and while I talk, I will explain a meditation that I practiced while in extreme pain. I would like to remind you that I am not a meditation teacher. I'm just a student who would like to explore the idea that you can meditate anywhere, anytime, on anything. So with that in mind, we'll think about our intention, which is to be happy and free from suffering, and to wish that wish for everyone on this earth and in the universe. So meditation is about awareness, and awareness is the knowingness, the thing in your mind that knows that you're doing something at any given time. Saying, doing, thinking, feeling. The thing that knows, that's awareness. Meditation is recognizing your awareness at any given moment. So I'm recognizing that I'm aware that I'm being filmed, and it's making me a little bit nervous because I don't want to mess up and have a bajillion little cuts. That's okay. I'm just going to be aware of that. And you know in your mind that you're watching me, talking to you. That's awareness. And meditation is just recognizing that you're seeing me. Hello. Just notice. So talking meditation is just about noticing that you're talking as you're talking. If you're like me, you're having a monologue at a camera, so I'm noticing that I'm talking at the camera. But maybe for you, you have a conversation with your family member or friend, and you can just notice yourself talking. Notice maybe the enunciation. The enunciation, you can notice the way you pronounce things. You can notice how your mouth feels while you talk. You can notice your intake of breath. Notice how it feels to notice. And that's meditation. So you can meditate anywhere, anytime, on anything, even on talking. So right now I'm meditating on myself talking. And I want to tell you a story as I meditate on myself talking. Story about myself that occurred about over a year ago now, where meditation really, I think, saved my life. I have a disease called endometriosis and polycystic ovarian syndrome. And with these diseases, you get cysts on your ovaries. So unfortunately, I didn't know that I had these diseases, and one of the cysts ruptured. That night, I had to go to the hospital, of course, but it was 10 out of 10 pain. The most pain that I've ever experienced in my entire life. I don't think anyone experiences that other than in childbirth. I can feel myself while I'm talking about this kind of getting shaky a bit. My breath feels a bit more shallow. But that's okay, I'll just be aware. So anyway, as I continue to be aware of the sensations in my body as I talk, I'll continue the story. So I was just talking to my partner after we had a lovely night at a party, and I had had period cramps that were really terrible, so I was used to extreme amount of pain. So much that I would be screaming in pain, often, which I didn't realize I had a disease that caused this pain. So anyway, so I was screaming in pain suddenly, and then it just got worse and worse and worse, and it wasn't getting better. Usually the pain subsided in like 5-10 minutes, whereas this lasted half an hour. I was screaming in pain, the most pain I've ever experienced in my entire life. Just be aware. Like sweating. Whew. And so while I was in this pain, I suddenly, sporadically, spontaneously started meditating. And I was meditating on the pain and my screaming and my breath all at the same time. They were connected. They were like one thing. So my pain was expressed through my scream. The pitch, I remember the pitch of my scream matching the pitch of the pain I was in. Very, very, very high pitched. I sing so I can scream very high pitched. I was screaming very high pitched. Because it was a stinging pain, and that feels like a high pitched sort of pain. Remembering that I'm talking, being aware of the emotions, the sensations that are occurring. And then my breath. I was able to breathe in very deeply, breathe in very deep, and then let out the longest, highest pitched scream I could muster. And it just went on for each one a minute long, the screams. And then I take another inhale, and then another long scream. Just, ah. And I think that's what saved my life, because after Curtis, my partner, called 911 and the ambulance came, by the time they got there, I had already calmed myself down. I was able to walk to the ambulance, and the doctor said that that was insane because I was puking, and apparently most people pass out and potentially go into shock. So I didn't go into shock because of my meditation. I practiced for 8 years at that time, or 7.5, 8 years, and it just went right into that screaming, breathing pain meditation. And that's all there was in that moment. I was just there, present with the pain. I knew in my mind that the pain itself wasn't what was hurting me. There was something else that was hurting me, and the pain was just a message to my body telling me, you need help. Go get help. So my partner called 911, and I just knew I needed to stay calm and get to the hospital. And I did, and I waited like 5 hours before I got any sort of pain medication. Continuously vomiting. By the time the doctor saw me and they did an ultrasound and realized what had happened, the doctor told my partner that for him, it would have been like getting kicked in the nuts until he pukes and passes out. That's the amount of pain I was in. But I didn't pass out. So I credit that to meditation, 100%. Oh, wow. Emotionally, that's a lot to talk about. I feel very vulnerable in this present moment to talk about my insides and the pain that I've gone through, because yeah, and the content, I'm noticing that the content of what I'm saying and is so drastically has effects on my body, my mental state. And that's okay. I'll just be present with that. So if you ever have any extreme pain situation where you have to scream, I'd recommend, I had a pillow, so I wasn't just screaming out into the world. I had a pillow. It was basically like, you know, the Cruciatus Curse in Harry Potter. If they did that for a half an hour at level 10. I can laugh about it now. For a while it was scary. After. I wasn't scared during, weirdly. There wasn't a lot of fear there. But after, because I was just in the scream, in the pain, in the breathing. But after that, I became fearful that it would happen again. But now I've been practicing meditation more, and I feel confident that I could help myself again if it happened. And there's a risk. There's always a risk that it could happen, and that it could be worse even the second time. So meditation is continuously helping me with my fear and my anxiety and my pain in general, because I still do have pain. Who knew talking could be so draining? It's okay. Just be aware of that. And that's how you meditate on talking. And how you meditate on extreme pain. All in one video. Pretty wild. I hope you enjoyed my video. Come back for more. Like, subscribe, all that. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, yeah. Bye.